Welcome everybody to another video of Dead by Daylight. My name is Cubeproductions. Today we're using Skull Merchant and this really weird costume, by the way, that I put on, as always, using a really interesting and really unique build that I came up with. So this build revolves around the first perk and also the last perk mainly. The first perk being called, of course, Deathbound. What this perk does is very simple. If a survivor is healed 32 meters away from us by another survivor, the survivor who performed the healing action will scream, and then Deathbound activates for 30 seconds. And that survivor will be oblivious for the 6 seconds unless they stay 8 meters near the healed survivor. Really interesting perk. It's kind of bad, honestly. And I used it before on my channel and I said it wasn't that good. But I had a really cool idea, and that's the reason why I'm going to be using it in this video to showcase what I think is kind of strong. Using it with the coordinates, where basically if any generator basically on the map, because 128 meters is basically the entire map, but if any generator on the map is being worked on by 2 or more people, it turns yellow and we get notified of it, and we can see exactly where it is, and we know people are there. We have Surge, very simple perk. We down a survivor basic attack. All generators that are in 13-meter radius will explode, lose 8%, and start regressing. And lastly is Hex Plaything. The first time we hook a survivor, they become cursed and oblivious until they cleanse their totem. And then we have about targeting processor, of course, and brown noise generator to make survivors move slower, and also to make them oblivious. Without further ado, let's get to the game and show you how great this build is. But before we get into the game, make sure you like, subscribe, and also make sure you turn notifications on. That way you know anytime I upload a video, and you make sure you leave comments because I love reading y'all's comments. Of course, we're playing during the event because the event is amazing. I love the event, by the way. It's actually I kind of didn't play the game for like I said, for 3 weeks. So I kind of missed 1 week of the event, or like a few days of the event. But other than that, it seemed to be really good. I can tell this Nancy most likely has sprint burst, because why would you like walk like that? So I'm expecting one of them to drop on the pallet, but surprisingly she does not. And because she vaults slowly, I'm able to get a hit on her with my drone and with my basic attack. She's gonna vault the window, but I'm expecting her to drop down this pallet because it's Shack pallet, but also you're kind of in a bad position. Because the window's blocked, she has no other options, but for some strange reason, she proceeds to still not use the pallet. Now, right here, she's gonna not use this pallet either. She's gonna sit here. I'm like, okay. So I expect that means that someone's here to try and save her, but I'm like, I have no fear. I don't care. I hear my drone go off, so I know I definitely hit someone, but because he missed the pallet save somehow, I'm like, whoa, I don't care. I break this pallet, and I want to get an invitation because of the fact that the invitation powers are extremely strong. In case you know what they are, basically I can endure a stun, so I take like, I think 60 or 50% stun reduction. I can break a pallet with my mind, something I love doing with Desolation. Or I can break a wall with my mind, really good. I'm going to kick this, this pallet, because of the fact that I know she slowed down by my drone a little bit. But like usual, they get one gen done immediately because I don't have a crop intervention, and my only gen regression perk is Jolt or Surge, because of the fact that I didn't want to run a lot of them this time. Because if you missed my last video, basically in the last video I talked about why I've been gone so long and why I've been taking a little break from Dead by Daylight. Because basically, if it was like I have to use certain perks to win the game, if I don't use them, I lose, and I hate that because this is mandatory. But I want to try and make builds where I don't have to do that, or even if I do it, it doesn't really matter. Because I still want to have fun playing the game, and I love the game anyway. So right now, I'm only using Surge because I feel like Surge is good enough. Like, Surge by itself is pretty good in Skull Merchant because you injure them a lot with your Cloud Traps, or you just down them regularly, and you don't have to worry about kicking generators. You can just watch the generators that are near you go away, because they'll regress faster. So we've hooked 2 people. I believe it's the second girl and the third girl. So both of them are oblivious, so we make sure we know about that. And then because the girl got healed, we activated Deathbound. Deathbound is so good, actually. Like, I don't know about good, but it's really useful. That's the word I'll use. Because when I was using it, I was just testing it out because I had an idea. Because the idea was basically, once they heal someone, they're going to be oblivious if they go away from the person. And then if they and the person who's hooked on the hook will be oblivious too, thanks to my Hex Plaything. So in my head, I'm like, if you're oblivious, I believe Dwight, by the way, is oblivious. He's the one that's oblivious. If I remember correctly, he's the one that screamed. But it's just funny to me because I'm like, I can make everyone oblivious really, really easily. I'm gonna break that pallet with my mind, but because Dwight didn't even go towards it, I'm like, well, okay. I got rid of this drone, thinking that Dwight was going to try and just like mind game the pallet. So I was like, this drone's kind of in a good position, but I also want to move it in a better one. but I didn't expect him to actually continue running this direction. So right here, he can get Claw Trap because he decided to just stay next to the drone. I'm going to wait for him to vault the pallet, and I'm going to use my power to break it, but because of the fact that I don't have any more of the invitation thing, I can't break it. So both people are going to cleanse their totems because they're like, I'm not being oblivious ever. And it's so funny to me because I literally was watching someone either someone commented or someone said something, I can't remember, but basically they were like, I'm never cleansing any totems when it's even if it's hex play thing. I'd rather be oblivious and have to deal with the fact that the killer has hex pimento plus hex plaything. But in reality, I don't have either. So for some reason, Nancy's like, I'm not gonna body block for the Nia, who I'm pretty sure who I already hooked before. I know Nia has Dead Hard because it's so obvious. Like it was the most obvious Dead Hard. I was like, you definitely have Dead Hard. Then then the Nancy's like, okay, I'll help now. But the problem is, she wanted to go for the pallet save. I mean, yeah, the pallet save. But the issue is, she gets claw trapped. So basically, Nia dies because her teammate doesn't want to help her because altruism doesn't exist apparently. And then Nancy dies because she's like, oh, I'm gonna save late. I'm like, why would you save so late? Now I know they're healing, so I know that that means that they're gonna most likely one of them's gonna be oblivious. I know this girl definitely has unbreakable. I could just tell. I was like, the way you're playing, you most likely have unbreakable, and you also have the other perk, I can't remember the name of. But because of the fact that she got confused where I was, I didn't go straight past the window, she got downed again. And then I have everything called remote hook, where I can literally hook her anywhere. But the reason why I didn't use it was because I was going to save it for Nancy. Because Nancy, I knew was going to be close to getting off my shoulder anyway. But sadly, someone decides to save Nancy, and as a result, she's going to be off the hook. Now, one thing about Deathbound is kind of good. Multiple people can be affected by Deathbound at once. So if two people are healing one person, then they're both going to get affected by Deathbound unless they decide to stay next to the healed person. Right here, I'm going to use my Untouchable Status effect to my advantage and Discordance to my advantage. I know exactly what the survivors are. I feel like Discordance on Skull Merchant is pretty good because it allows you to tell what survivors are. I believe that girl had Dead Hard, but I can't really tell, honestly. I can't really remember. But anyway, she's going to go crawl towards the pallet, but it's not going to matter because there's no one here. And also, remote hook is broken. So we're going to just hit her on the hook and literally tricks it. Boom. That's literally how it feels. Remote hook is so strong. Like that, I love it though. Speaking of loving things, if you love the next update coming out for WWE, make sure you tell me in the comments. In case you know what I'm talking about, they're buffing Night and Singularity and a bunch of Survivor and Killing perks because honestly, they deserve buffs. Oppression is gonna get changed and it's gonna be actual pretty good now. Even though Oppression was already kind of a good perk, but the issue was it had the longest cooldown on the planet for some reason. But they're nerfing that. They're also making it so that, well, not nerfing it, they're buffing it so they're making it so you don't have to have such a long cooldown anymore. They're buffing Trail of Torment, and I believe they're also buffing, it's Trail of Torment and another perk that they're buffing. And I'm really happy because one thing that I really hated about those perks is just they have a super long cooldown. The effect is strong, but once the effect is gone, it's like, oh, you know I can use this perk. Same thing with Dragon's Grip. Dragon's Grip is a bad perk because it's once the survivor knows you have it, it's kind of useless. And then also, once they know you have, like once they know you have it, it's useless. Right here, this girl's like, hit me. I'm like, okay, but I have a strange feeling, someone's gonna go for the flashlight save. So I'm like, oh, Dwight's here. So I'm gonna go after Dwight. But the problem with the strategy that they're using is the fact that I'm Skull Merchant. So if I claw trap you, you just die. Right here, I'm gonna go after Dwight, but I'm like, nope, I'm gonna go back over towards the girl because I'm gonna bait Dwight into coming over here because I know they're gonna try and rescue her off the ground. Dwight's gonna go for the save because he really loves being altruistic, but in reality, he's going to die for it because now he's slowed down, and there's no way he's gonna make that pallet because he's slowed down. That's how you use your drones correctly. And even though Nia did just get saved, I don't really care because remote hook. And because of the fact that I know what they are, but it's like they're gonna get healed. So Nia didn't get healed, which means that Deathbound didn't activate, which means that what's it called? That the Nia and the Nancy are not near each other. That's the best way to explain it. The reason why we're using this entire build works so well together, by the way. That's the reason why I made it. Discordance, not Discordance. Well, yeah, Discordance and Deathbound work really well together because Deathbound literally will show if the two survivors are near each other or not. If they're not near each other, also Dwight is right there for the flashlight. I thought Dwight was behind the car, so I purposely turned that way to make it hard for him to flashlight me, but in reality, I turned right where he was. Also, someone fell the generator, so I know that someone's over here. And like I said before, because Deathbound is not activated, that makes me think that both of the survivors are not near each other. And as a result, there's Nia doing the generator across the map over there. So, like I said, this build has really good synergy. Deathbound and Discordants work hand in hand. If they're near each other, they're most likely going to end up being, well, Discordants are going to most likely activate because of the fact that they're going to build the same gen together. That's why we have Discordants and Deathbound. Also, I think you hit that hard, but because I did a really wide swing, it missed, which is really happy for me, or really good for me. Deathbound and Hex Plaything work well together because of the fact that now the person who does the healing action will be exposed. I mean, not exposed, will be oblivious, and also the person who was hooked earlier will be exposed. I mean, exposed. Sorry, I'm oblivious. I don't know why I keep saying exposed. So basically, both people are going to be oblivious. And as a result, it's going to be really hard for the survivors to be able to do anything. I could use remote hook right there, but I kind of want to save it in case I down someone like the Dwight who's injured right now. But most likely they're going to heal Dwight, actually. Another reason why Deathbound is actually pretty useful, in my opinion, is because of the fact it's a really good information perk. Because you just know where two people are automatically. And it's the fact that you can just tell, like, who it is based on the screen. Now, I know there's a lot of female and male characters in this game now, so it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. But as long as you just know what the scream sounds like, then you're good. Right here, we get the really fun, one of my favorite ones, if not my favorite one, the super fast haste boost one. And it's just funny because Dwight didn't know where I was because he's oblivious thanks to Hex Plaything. So as a result, we're going to hook him immediately, and he's dead on the hook. So right here, I see this happen, so I'm going to try and get a drone up so I can become oblivious and move so fast that they're not going to be able to react to me being here. But sadly, they have eyes, and they saw me, so I was unable to sneak up on them. I know they're here somewhere, but because I can't figure out exactly where they are, I just have to wait. I don't know where she came from, because she wasn't on the gen, because she had off the record. She wasn't near the gen, because I didn't hear her. While I wouldn't hear her because off the record. And I just never saw her. So I'm like, I go around the entire thing, and you're like, oh, I'm here now. It just made no sense. So she's going to vault that and then block it for me. I don't really care because I'm never going to go there anyway. Right here, I'm like, okay, all I have to do is get my drone to scan her, and I win. But for some reason, this car is like, nope, she's too thick. I can't scan her. I'm like, what? I'm kind of mad. But then I'm like, finally, I scanned her. I should be able to get to this before get to her before she gets to the pallet. But no, because of how my drone is rotated and how far away I place it, I can't do anything. But because of the fact that pallet is completely trash, because it's the anniversary one and not the regular one, I don't have to worry about anything, and I'm going to be able to remote hook her and kill her. I know Nancy's on that generator, because why wouldn't she be on the generator? So Nancy's going to do the gen, so I'm like, okay, I have no idea where she is now, but because I'm smart, I noticed that if my drone is still there and didn't trigger anyone, that means Nancy had to either have crawled away or must be nearby. So because of that reason, I knew she was nearby, and I'm going to try mind game by going through the house, but she's like, uh-oh. This Skull Merchant has a brain. So, because my drone, luckily, scanned her from the tip, it literally slowed her down just enough to where she was going to make any pallets, and we can just remote hook her and win the game. And that's the reason why I love Deathbound, because Deathbound does so much and gives off so much information for being a kind of bad perk, honestly. But it's a pretty good perk, too, if you know how to use it. And I feel like this build in particular really utilizes Deathbound to its, I don't want to say full potential, but to a really high. It puts it really higher in my tier list of perks that I have in my head, because I didn't think it would be this useful, but it was pretty good. But anyway, let's go to the next game of the video so I can show you how great Deathbound is. Okay, playing on Lapkin Lane. This is a really good map for Skull Merchant. Let me explain why. Before, this map was not really the best for Skull Merchant because you basically had to place 1 or 2 drones always in these annoying houses, or I mean, sorry, on the outside of these annoying houses, because those windows were absolutely busted and broken. But then they decided to change this map to make it actually fair, and made it completely basically survivor sided. I mean, sorry, killer sided in a way. And let me explain why. First things first, they nerfed the windows. I have to remember this because I haven't played this map in a long time. And I haven't played Deathbound in a while, so I have to remember exactly where the windows spawn now. But they nerfed the windows, so there's not two windows in every single thing, and they can't just mindlessly loop this annoying tile because of the fact that it has like little counterplay with certain killers, but it's kind of dumb. But instead, they decided to change the map, and as you can see, they re-put for some reason the 3-gen that doesn't need to exist. This girl is like, I'm gonna try and dodge this drone. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, okay. But because I'm underneath my drone, it's not gonna scan her. But I'm waiting for it to go that way. That way now she is too slow to actually make the pallet. What is how you use skull merchants, drones, and chases. That's the whole point of the killer, to be able to be a trap killer. But yeah, they basically buffed, like they changed his map. I'm happy for the change. Like for example, the map was big for some unknown reason, but then also it was dumb because you as a killer, you never wanted to chase survivors in the buildings because it felt like there was no way to win. Like the building is just too strong. Like it literally is a window, and it's just like why. So right here, the drone's gonna most likely scan her a third time and get her a claw trap. I don't really feel like getting her a claw trap, honestly, but I'm going to. I break the pallet where she can't actually vault it, but because she's claw trap, I'm kind of mad. I wanted her to get like 2 lock-on stacks, but for some reason the game was like, no. But it's fine because he's dead, or she's on the hook. I mean, they do a generator to be expected. You can't really. Surprisingly, I got 2 hooks before they even did 1 generator, but that rarely happens. At least for me, it does because of how long it takes to get an actual down. But I know someone's here because I see scratch mark and the generator is being worked on. I need my invitation so I can become broken. I love the invitation powers; they're kind of cool. Honestly, where's the anniversary wouldn't end, but it will end soon, sadly. But anyway, yeah, because of the fact that this girl's oblivious, she doesn't know where I'm coming from. But she also has, you know, ears, so she probably heard like my footsteps or something. But then what ends up happening is I get really, really what's it called? Lucky that this is a really weird tile. I see her slightly, so I know she's here. I expected her to go inside the main building again. Oh, not the main building, the building. But instead, what's going to end up happening is she's going to drop the pallet on me. I was waiting for her to drop it because I knew she dropped it the wrong way. Well, not the wrong way. If he dropped it in general, it would automatically break. But instead, she just mind gamed it for a long time. But it's fine. So sadly, she's on death hook already. I don't even mean to tunnel her, but because she's oblivious, it's kind of easy to just tell which one it is who's oblivious and kill them. So when I saw her, I was like, well, this is a perfect opportunity. I have to kill you. I hear something sound like, oh no, they're inside the building. But because I can see the scratch marks, but I can hear the footsteps, I know they're upstairs. And then I know she's going to vault the window to the right because they added this little balcony area, which is kind of cool. But because I have, you know, eyes and ears, I see and hear. So because of that reason, Deathbound will activate over there, and I'm going to chase this girl by putting a drum right here. But because this is a really annoying tile, I'm stupid and didn't break the pallet for some reason. One of my biggest problems of Dead by Daylight, or at least for me it is the fact that I don't know what I do, but I love to just not break pallets. I don't know why I do this a lot. I guess in my head I'm like, okay, after they're gonna leave the area anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Then we get the speed buff, and now we move insanely fast. So because of that reason, she's about to go back on top again. And it's funny because now that I move so fast, I literally landed before she even. I mean, I got to her because she was still doing the landing recovery, which is kind of funny. And I know where all survivors are besides one of them because of the fact that my radar showed 3 people. So this girl is gonna try to mind game this. It will work out most likely for her. But because I move so fast, I can kind of just break the pallet like that and then catch up to her no matter where she is. Not to mention when you lunge, because your lunge is based on how fast you move, your movement speed, you kind of just lunge even further. It's kind of insane. But I love the movement speed one because it feels like Skull Merchant and every kill in the game can go across the entire map insanely fast, and that's extremely funny. But anyway, we're going to lunge so far. And then sadly, the speed bump at the end, but I don't want it to end, so I'm gonna try and catch her. But then I have to go slow. I'm like, oh, I missed my swing because of how slow I move. So right here, I'm gonna make a really bad play. I'm gonna try and break the pallet, but I'm gonna mess it up. Then at the corner of my eye, I saw something move, but I'm still an idiot. I'm over here like, where you at? And that's when I saw the scratch marks, and I'm like, oh. And when I look back at this, I realized he literally moved right past me, but for some reason, in my head, it didn't like hit me that happened, so I just didn't realize it. But it's fine because she's on a really bad palette because this palette is a fake one. Well, not a fake one, but it's one of those anniversary ones. So once you drop it, it's gonna break. As a result, with the remote hooker, even though I could have just walked to the hook because it's literally behind me, I believe. Yep. But I chose to use the remote hook anyway. I know that Jake is oblivious because of the fact that Deathbound activated. Unless, of course, he's with, Yoon Jin Lee, because I believe he healed. But the issue would be that I don't see the coordinates activated, so I don't think he's there. So right here, we're going to go after the girl who I know is dead on hook. But because of the fact that her endurance health effect is gone, I just decided to go after her instead and rehook her using a remote hook and the exact same hook that I could have walked to again. So now I have 2 people dead on hook and they have 3 gens left. So I'm pretty, they have, 3 gens left. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to win because I've already hooked 2 people so many times. But at any point in the game, I could just lose, especially if I play badly. So right here, I'm trying to get a hit on her before she actually goes towards the pallet. She's gonna mind game this, and she's like, "Wait a minute, drone." No, so I'm gonna mind game. I use my Rex thing. She's gonna hesitate for like half a second, but because I swung too far, I end up missing. She puts it on a pallet, but it doesn't matter. I hit her, and she is smart. She does not decide to drop the pallet because there was gonna be no reason for that. I'm gonna leave her because I know that every survivor's over here. One girl got hooked. I'm sorry, one girl got saved, but is oblivious. I'm sorry. One girl got healed and she's oblivious. Dwight is injured and he's oblivious thanks to my add-ons. And the other girl is what's it called? Most likely near the Young Jun Lee because of the fact that I don't know if she's oblivious or not, I'm being honest. But I'm gonna use my drone and figure out exactly where my where Jake is and down him. Because I'm like, you're oblivious, you don't know where I'm coming from. Unless you have eyes. So I'm gonna down you. And I don't have a remote hook because of the fact that I use my power to destroy that pallet, even though I could have done anything else. But it's fine. Then we have the totem one. I believe this is the one where basically if you do a totem as killer or a survivor, it grants you a speed buff, but only in the direction, in the radius of the totem. And the radius is kind of small, if I believe correctly. But it's the option / ability to be able to basically have a bunch of different like move faster beacons. It's kind of like having the expired batteries. I mean, the batteries included perk on, but you get to pick where you want it to be at. Well, not really, because honestly, the game will put the drones and the will put all stuff in random locations. I'm trying to get the Kate injured with a claw trap, but I don't think she's gonna get injured. But because she ran into another one of my drones, she gets injured randomly, and now I know she's oblivious. They do 1 gen, but now I realize that 3 people are dead on hook. I believe it's the 1st, 2nd, and 4th girl are all dead on hook. Because Kate is injured, I am gonna go after her. I thought the window was right there, but I don't remember where the windows are. But because I have the ability to see exactly where she is, and also we have claw traps, and she's oblivious, I can kind of just track her until I realize when she's gonna fall. That's when I see this, and I'm like, oh. So the second I'm gonna go up her a little bit, the second I feel like she's gonna fall, I will turn back around, and luckily for me, I did it perfectly, basically, and she made no distance at all. It was so lucky that I got the aura reading one at the last possible second. I believe that means both of us, like, she can see my aura, and then I can see hers. But honestly, I don't really know how it works, because I'm undetectable. And I believe when you're undetectable, you can't even, like, your aura's not shown. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know about that. Maybe I'm wrong about that. It might just be your trail radius is 0, but I feel like it's your trail radius is 0 and your aura can't be shown. But I don't remember. This girl is going to drop the pallet. Smart. But then I look and I'm like, wait, Jake's here. Why? And because I know Jake's on hook, I'm going to go after Jake. Because that only makes logical sense. Jake is going to go in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And then he's like, you know what? I give up. And I'm like, I see. I don't know why he gave up, honestly. Because he's probably gonna die. He had nothing anyway. But it's just weird. But anyway, it's fine because he's dead on hook, and then we have to find one more person, and I believe we win the game. Now, I believe the person I'm looking for is actually at the bottom level. But again, I don't really know for sure. So I see my radar, I'm like, okay. Usually, You're annoying. I want you to die, but at the same time, I'm not looking for you, so I'm not gonna go after you. They do a generator immediately. I'm like, oh, of course, Eugene's gonna run away for her life, but it's fine because I don't want you anyway. I want this girl because she's dead on her. And surprisingly, Eugene did not try and body block. I'm also surprised she was able to throw that down before I could kick it, but whatever. And now we're going to break the pallet, hook her, and we have to figure out where the what's it called? Exit are and where the hatch is gonna spawn. So I'm gonna trap both exits really quickly, or at least try to. And pray we can find the Yoon Lee. But honestly, it most likely won't happen because the chance of that happening is low. Not to mention she's gonna probably find the hatch. I have no idea where it is in this map. I don't know where the hatch spawns at all. I know it can spawn like in the middle. It can spawn anywhere, I'm pretty sure, but it can spawn like in the middle on the road somewhere. That's how I normally see it. So I'm mentally prepared for her to get the hatch, but I don't know because I just don't think so. More invitations equals more points, and then we're gonna put a drone here to try and protect that as the gate. And I thought I saw it get the elevator for a second, so I was like, okay. The bad thing will be if she knows she can just crouch underneath my drones, and then my drones are useless, because then it's like, well, I don't know where you are. But instead what's going to happen is she's going to look for the hatch, and she sadly is going to find the hatch. But that was the second game, and also the entirety of the video. Also, like my outfit, I decided to change the outfit every single time. By the way, I bought every single outfit for Square Merchant. Every single weapon, every single outfit, everything I have, I got it. So I'm looking forward to showcase random builds and also some really weird, what's it called, costume combinations. We'll see what happens. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I love reading y'all's comments so much, and I will see y'all in the next video. Have a nice day.